You wanna go back to a place where we can hide. You wanna the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the AMD Ryzen and Windows 11 presents the Esports Club Challenger Series, powered by Crucial and our broadcast partner Loco. I'm your host Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host Aggressive, as we are back once again for the group stages of the Challenger Series. Aggressive, how do you feel on this fine afternoon?
Honestly, I'm hyped. Primarily because of one thing, and also because of another thing that is upcoming, moving on down the line. On the 12th, I'm pretty sure that everyone's been hearing rumors about it. It's all been there. Also, down below in the description, I think that you're going to be able to get a little bit more on the details as well about the LAN event that we're having on the 12th. And I heard that the tickets are completely free. And you guys can get back at home as well just by scanning a QR code that's going to be showing up in front of your screen soon enough. But we're all excited for the LAN. But at the same time, we have to get to the group stages as well. It's going to be a gruesome group stage already. A lot of the favorites getting knocked out. Some of the most... I don't know. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of upsets that have been happening. Velocity took down Enigma. Not really the most unexpected of feats, but Velocity, when they were in the trenches, they were not looking that good considering their past track records against Enigma. But they were able to come back, shine even brighter, take down Enigma. They're now down one. Lethal already lost to Reckoning, mind you, in the most incredible set of games that I've ever seen. And after that, I'm just amazed. And now both of these teams are going to be going up against one another. And they are now fighting for the incredible prize pool that we have in store for them. Honestly, the first player's prize is just... you're fighting for this.
It's going to be an absolute bloodbath, that is for sure. I mean, like you said, LAN stage aside, this group stage has already been very much a full-on bloodbath, and they're all fighting for that 15 lakhs right there. First place gets 2.5, second place gets 4, third place 2.5, and MVP gets a full 1 lakh to themselves as well. Plenty to fight for, and also the chance to play in a LAN setting after so long. You know, the fact that a full-on Valorant LAN, I mean, the players are going to be absolutely outstanding there. If you think that we've seen some amazing stuff today, not today, I mean this series, just wait until 12th, 13th, and 14th of August, folks. Man, that LAN is going to be insane. But anyhow, let's look at the matches that we have for today. The first match that me and Aggressive will be taking you through, well, of course, in the group stages, as it were, right now, it is, of course, Lethal... excuse me, the Enigma versus Lethal, as it were. And then we have another match today and more matches over the course of the weekend, as we have the teams from the group stages who will go over to the arena. Oh boy, that arena, man, that LAN. Even right now, like, we're still a ways away from it, but I can only imagine the kind of hype that we'll be seeing in that on those days.
You know for a fact that the crowd, they're going to run wild. Everyone's going to be rampant to meet and greet the incredible people that will be there. You can get to talk to your favorite players, maybe ask them a couple of questions. The big personalities that we always see streaming on YouTube, they're also going to be present. Everyone will be there. It's such a massive LAN event that you just cannot miss out on. And hey, just like today and its matchups, this is another thing that you just cannot miss out on. Lethal going up against Enigma, OG versus Revenant. I'm here for it all.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. It is going to be an amazing day of matches right there. Enigma, Lethal, both looking for a win on their boards right now, and they are desperate to get it again. Losing another match. I mean, one of these teams has to lose, right? That's just how matches go. But the team that wins, they will be making their presence known. They'll put a win on their board and they'll say to the rest of the table that, no, we're not out of this yet. Orangutan, mind you, they are looking solid. I do believe they have 2 wins on their table already. Revenant, on the other hand, are looking for a win here and now. And again, a reminder for all of our viewers at home, all of this will lead into a full-blown LAN for the finals of the Challenger Series at the Esports Club Arena. And as you can see, the QR code is on screen right now. Get your tickets from that. There's the link down in the description below. 12th, 13th, and 14th of August. There's, of course, the finale that we just talked about. There's going to be fan meets and greets, cosplay competitions, other community tournaments. There's plenty of stuff to do, plenty of people to meet, plenty of hype to be gathered. And we will see you there because, my goodness, a big LAN like this, it is going to be an absolute breathtaking sight.
And if you don't have a ticket over to Bangalore, then make sure to book your trains because you want to book it off 1 week in advance. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the train stations are going to be jam-packed with the people wanting to come over to the arena. It's going to be one of the biggest events here in India when it comes down to LANs. And hey, you don't want to miss out on it. But as we head on down over towards the group standings to see exactly how the teams have been shaping up over the week, it's been a little bit all over. And as I just stated right off the very beginning, when we were talking about the different teams that have already played in, Anadi Army for Group A, yeah, they don't really stand a chance to push their way forward unless they can guarantee themselves 2 more victories. I think they're done for. Yeah, just one more victory as well. It just won't happen for them.
Yeah, it's looking very rough for Anadi Army right there. Metal Esports still have a chance, mind you. They've only had a singular loss so far. Revenant, they do have a win on board for themselves, but against Orangutan later today, it'll be a tough game for sure. And mind you, in Group B, the match that we're having is the match of 3rd and 4th place right there. Lethal Esports and Enigma Gaming both are yet to have a win, as they are trailing behind Reckoning Esports, who are going 1-1, still pretty likely to qualify for the top 4, and Velocity, who is currently the leader of Group B, 2-0 for themselves. I mean, even then, yesterday, their match against Reckoning, that still came very close, especially on map 2. Overtime just refused to end, and we saw some amazing plays from the Velocity and Reckoning roster. Unfortunately for Reckoning, they seemed to run out of steam by the time we got to map 3, and well, it was kind of all said and done from there. So, Lethal Esports and Enigma Gaming, one of these teams has already fought Reckoning, so they're coming off the back of some experience against a very tough team, but they're also going up against each other, and these 2 teams are going to be fighting with absolutely nothing left to lose.
Heading on down over towards the MVP standings, let's get an overview of exactly who's been firing it up on all cylinders from top all the way to very bottom. And honestly, are you really surprised that Deathmaker is on the number 1 position? He's been here for every tournament that I've casted up till now for these last 2 years. He's just sitting there in that number 1 spot being like, yeah, I'm just going to stay here. This is my home now. Everyone else, they can just stay down there. They can look up at me as if I'm a 6-7 feet tall giant just staring down from above. He has his throne, but everyone else, they're slowly but surely catching up on it. Vibor, he has been having phenomenal performances, honestly, in every regard. Being the IGL, being the controller player, he's almost unstoppable. And to put up MVP frags and have such a high headshot percentage and a large amount of kills, that is not an easy.
Absolutely. Vibor has been performing fantastically throughout the tournament as well. MW1, on the other hand, from Velocity, we saw a glimpse, I would say, of his, overall potential. But if you really want to see how MW1 can be an absolute threat, that match that they had against Enigma a couple of nights ago, now that game was a very good game for MW1. However, sitting in 3rd place right now, they're going to need to pick themselves up a little bit if they want that top MVP spot. And finally, rounding out the top 4, it is Deadly from Reckoning Esports. Again, no surprises that Deadly is in the top 4. However, you might have all those kills, but the remaining statistics leave a little bit to be desired, I believe. So Deadly will need to pick up the performance and get himself another couple of MVPs. Try to beat Deathmaker, or at least get to 2nd place. Really go head-to-head against the others that are on this board in front of our viewers right now. And as the tournament progresses, especially once again going into that LAN for finale, whichever one of these teams, or whichever 2 or 3 of these teams ends up qualifying, oh boy, that fight is going to be an absolute barn burner. That is for sure.
Honestly, with a couple of more days to go for the entirety of the group stages to end, we have a general consensus of who's going to be the one to move forward, who will be relegated. And just as I said before, Anani Army, they're pretty much down in the deep end already. Even if you're able to win out on your last game, you're pretty much hoping that everyone else in your group stage just starts to flop. But I'm really going to be surprised if they make it through. But for now, what we won't be surprised about is the head-to-head coming in front of our screen. Two incredible players going up against each other. And hey, Marcel versus Antidote. Two very prominent players, I would say, when it comes down to the scene that they came from. They were the closest of friends, but Marzel seems to be taking the cake a little bit when it comes down to the stats, especially when it comes down to his headshots at first bloods.
Oh, yes, very much leading the charge right there between these two. Marzel, 20% headshot and 10 first bloods. Clearly doing a lot of work on the entry right there, leading also in terms of KD and ADR. Antidote, don't get me wrong, Antidote is also very much a fantastic player in his own right, but sometimes you do end up trailing behind the others that are in the same vicinity as you. I mean, it is what it is, you know? But for now, we are, of course, waiting for the match to start. In this match, once again, Enigma versus Lethal. I'm pretty sure a lot of fans are going to be cheering their teams on, as you should, in the chat. And let us know which team you think is likely to take map number 1. It is a best of 3, mind you, so it's going to be a longer game, as it were. And speaking of the longer game, let's go into the map veto. And aggressive, we've got some interesting maps here today.
Yeah, first game Pearl, second game is Send, and third game Fracture. If Universe is here, you would be like, yes, no, please no. And Fracture, he's on that set. It's like, all right, fine, I can live with this. One of the most, let's say, unorthodox maps being Pearl. You have no idea how this map is going to play out. On professional play, at least, in my ranked games and, of course, my casual lobbies, I have a general consensus of what to do on this particular map. Take that mid control away, and with that mid control, you can have full control of the entire map. But in professional levels of play, that really doesn't apply at all calibers. Yes, there are different strategies that you can play around on the mid, but if you have a hard-hitting execute over to a side, that is very different and drastically, it can drastically make the defenders very uncomfortable. Then it changes up the pacing. Pearl is one of the few maps I would say, in my eyes, is very balanced in the way that it releases, and it doesn't need that level of changes to make it even better. It's an incredible map in my eyes, not unlike Fracture, which still to this day, I hate the map, but at the same time, I love it as well.
I'm pretty sure that is a widely accepted consensus when it comes to Fracture. Even in a lot of people I've talked to, they don't really like it. But anyhow, folks, let's go into the agent selection as the teams have picked the characters that they will be playing for Pearl. Mind you, this is my first time casting on Pearl and kind of seeing the map in general, so I will be lagging behind a little bit. Forgive me for that. I'm just going to say it out loud right now. As anyhow, we've got a Sage, Omen, Fade, Sky, and Chamber from the Enigma side, and from Lethal Esports, we've got Brimstone, Neon, Chamber, Breach, and Fade.
Now, when we consider the Enigma composition, they're trying to terraform this entire map into their own playground. And I completely am behind that. Honestly speaking, in that regard, the idea of using the Sage to block off the mid rotations and possibly just put a full stop to how the attackers can push in is a pretty smart call. Fade allows you to gain massive amounts of information. Excali with the flashes is going to get you in towards the side. And honestly speaking, here I don't think Sova has a place. The map is massive in scale, has too many different corners where the recon dart's not really going to get any value. And after the recent changes to the drone, why would you want to pick up a Sova on this particular map when the Prowlers do pretty much the exact same thing? Smart plans from both teams to completely take out the Sova. Now, the main primary difference we see is the two controllers, and I would say Brimstone is a lot better on this map considering the level of corners that you can hide behind, and also the way that the spike normally gets planted. If you're able to catch the defenders or maybe catch the attackers who are trying to plant or trying to defuse, then the Brimstone will always have a lot more leeway in the way that he can get those frags up on towards the side for an opening retake. But Rexy, on the other hand, has the global smokes, can play on one side while the other end will be a little bit more problematic. But I would be leaning a bit more towards Brimstone because Brimstone just carries the smokes a lot better. The sky smokes are a lot more massive. covers the larger area and gives the advantage in that sense. But I want to ask you about how do you feel about the Breach versus Sky? This is a bit of a question mark in my eyes.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting matchup. I feel like I'm definitely waiting to see if we get Cybele and Excali. Excuse me, I had to take a second. Going up against each other very often, as it were, because knowing the way Breach is played, right, especially with the tremor and the flashes, as it were, kind of similar to Sky, but kind of not at the same time. Excalibur probably playing a little bit more on the back foot, allowing the team to push forward alongside the Sky's utilities. But the Breach, kind of pushes with the team, and they might run into each other a lot. And once they do, it'll become a question of who can really outsmart the other when it comes to these two agents. It's not really about gun skill. I mean, it is at the end of the day. Valorant is an FPS. However, as we go into the match, folks, we're not going to keep you here for much longer. Match number one, map number one, round number one. Here we go. It is a go. And like I said, I am interested to see how the Breach and the Sky end up facing off against each other. I feel like it'll happen more often than we think. But again, we'll have to keep a close eye on that as the first round is about to get started.
An immediate fade eye coming in from RVK. We'll be able to get that first initial bit of a catch of information over on the A main push. And that's pretty smart. To have an early lead up that quickly, it's going to be beautiful. But that arc push is a little bit unrelenting. They're already pushing in towards the side. They have full control. Good God. They're not stopping for even a second. Antidote tried to retaliate and he's going to get caught. RBK pretty much stuck in the middle of nowhere. Andrew's going to be able to get the shutdown kill. And with that double and with the spike plant as well, this post plant, it's just going to get a lot more simpler.
Oh yeah, very dicey for the defenders right now. Enigma needs to somehow retake the site, but with only 3 players active and not a whole lot of room to get in and less bodies to boot, as Rex goes down, it's going to be even worse. Lucia finds Raphael, and that leaves the final Sky, the last one standing, caught, position revealed, and Android will easily finish off the kill. Take the round as the pistol round goes to Lethal Esports.
Pretty standard take. Very fast, very aggressive, expected from a duelist-based composition. But Enigma, I do believe they took a little bit of a step back in the way that they were trying to hold the side. Antidote taking that first initial engagement when he could have just played a bit more further back, waited for his teammates to come in. Maybe a bit too overzealous in the way that he took the fight, but it's completely fine. Hey, first initial round, it's the pistol. You're not going to be able to do it perfectly. But here on out, you need to be a lot more predominant. But look at the Dion. The Dion's just dashing his way forward. Usaid bolted it way up. And possibly gonna get a frag, but RVK, the Sheriff team is just absolutely beautiful. Taps him out of existence and is looking for another one. And hey, knowing him, he's probably gonna be able to find it.
Well, unfortunately not quite. Sensei gets Excali in the meanwhile, and Antidote goes down. Everyone's just shutting down any defender that they see from Lethal Esports. Couple of missed shots from the headhunter right there from Raphael, and that will leave the Omen, the last one standing. Well,
that's sad.
Didn't even let me finish my thought right there. Lucia gets Rex, and that will be the second round as well, going to Lethal. They're not going to have full guns swinging. But on the other side for Enigma, not the best start for them, that is for sure.
Should be able to take a good hold out of it though. But I really want to highlight something here, Jeff. Think about it like this. When we saw the group standings,
right,
if Lethal take this win against Enigma,
right,
then pretty much Enigma are out and Reckoning have a pretty good shot of getting their way in. That would be the biggest upset that I've ever seen in Valorant history.
Ooh, yeah, that is something that we have to keep our eyes on, I did have a feeling that it'd be something like that, as in the meanwhile, Android's taking a gunfight right now. Not been able to find one. Oh, never mind, he does.
Look at this.
Just gets in there. Antidote only finds one. Rex comes back to find Marzel, but it's still a 3v2, and the spike will now be on the ground.
They full control him, and look at Android's positions. Android's already going towards the Heaven sideline. Antidote takes on the first initial player, but I don't think they're expecting Android to come in from the bottom side. Ooh, beautifully done, Android. He had the timing, but just not the crosshair placement that he required. Antidote. Just find the frag over towards the side as well. So 1 and 2. Enigma, they're able to retaliate here pretty quickly when it came down to the buy rounds, but it's still an expensive one. While Lethal, they played on full bonus.
Absolutely, and for Lethal, well, the bonus round being lost, they're gonna have to revert back a couple of those buys right there. as Enigma will definitely be very happy that they won the round. They've put themselves on the board finally, and hey, better late than never, right? It is, after all, the 4th round. There are so many rounds left to go here, especially if it goes the way that we're thinking. Then we may even, and I don't want to get predictions out too early, but we may even see OT on map 1 itself, knowing these two teams, and especially given what was just said, right? If one of these two teams wins, Reckoning gets a chance, and the loser might just get eliminated. If it's Enigma, then oh boy, as the meanwhile, RVK will find Android, tried to get a line of sight early on the boxes, but Marzel takes the same one and gets the kill. Nonetheless, RVK goes down.
That was a beautiful shot going in from Marzel. The man's aim always reigns supreme, and the level of confidence that he has is just rivaled by none. Looking for even more though, Marzel. Flirting with danger out here a little bit too much. Mister is going to be cruel, and he's going to stick swing. And there's a reason why you don't go for aggressive peaks like that. You have to give those up. You know that you gave up space. You need utility to regain that space. Marcel's going to take a back seat, and Cybele. Hard miss. At Enigma, they have full control. There's nothing that the members of Lethal can do to try and salvage this round.
Not much at all. 2v4, and the remaining 2 attackers are trying to enter A from the main side right now. They've got plenty of smokes to go in from, but Antidote is just holding the corner. Scene taken out. Lucia takes that kill. Now the site is compromised to a degree. The Brimstone's in here, and the shots, while they're being fired, the plant will go down. Spike is at the default plant. Sensei is holding the entry from the spawn side, sets up the chamber anchors, while Lucia is just waiting for somebody to peek around the boxes here. They're about to enter. Rex peeking away, gets taken down, unaware of the chamber's position, but no second kill. Excalibur will shut down Sensei. That leaves Lucia, the last one standing, and oh, unfortunate, gets taken down, and also a little unaware that Raphael had come around the side. But hey, a round is round, and Enigma will be happy to equalize 2-2.
That was just a guaranteed one. You can see it as soon as it went down to a 4 versus 2 situation. But you have to give it to Marzel. Pretty good clean shots, but he kind of overcommitted by himself, and that was a pretty costly hit for him. Death coming in, but for Enigma, they're more than happy about this. Couple of loose buys from the members of Lethal. They still have enough to go in for it, but maybe Marzel, you're buying for a bit more than you can chew. Full buying with your team is a better idea, but Lethal, I think they're going through a dilemma of whether they should force buy or going for a full-out save.
That seems to be the case with them right now. Android looks like he wants to really contest this, but isn't quite able to get in there thanks to the Sage Wall. Sensei falling back, seeing some early conflict as well. They're all caught towards the link to mid site. Nobody really committing to a site just yet. They want to play the mind games right now. But Excali, by the plaza, that door is being watched. So the entry can't quite happen just yet, and they know this. As we have a Prowler coming out right now. Is they going to find someone? No, not quite. Again, no peeks really coming in, but here's Android with the ult and gets taken down immediately. RVK, Raphael, Antidote, 3 kills in an instant. And once again, Lethal Esports very much on the back foot.
I don't know why they went in for the execute like that, though. Marzel, he had a Prowler in hand. Could have thrown on the Prowler first, and then Android could have gone in for the slide. I don't understand. The members of Lethal, they're starting to make very rookie levels of mistake, trying to take 1v1 engagements constantly, and it's just not working out in their favor whatsoever. Raphael, free kill for him, absolutely nothing to worry about there. And Lethal, I do believe taking a pause in the next round is pretty crucial for them to try and reset themselves, because they're falling into a pretty hefty trap of just taking 1v1 engagements and not really figuring out what they're doing wrong here. I don't see any form of adaptability. Yeah,
I gotta agree with you there. There are no adaptations from the Lethal Esports roster right now. They're just kind of... I don't want to, kind of like going through the motions and winging it at the same time. It's a weird combination to have. As here we go, Marzel gonna send out the Nightfall. And all the other bits and pieces that can be put out there. Once again, shots are fired. Antidote will get the first kill. Flash tries to slow someone down, but Android, too quick on the trigger, does get the kill. Sensei with the headhunter also finds RVK. This round, a little bit better from the Lethal side as they've taken control of the A side. Lucia's going to go for the plant once again on default. There we go. It's a post-plant 3v4.
one should be in their favor pretty much in immediate. You see a beautiful shot over towards the face of Excali. That's the first initial shutdown that they needed. And Enigma pretty much down at the deep end here. Rex not really able to get to the angle that he wanted, and Lucy is going to be able to find the first initial catch and put another one in the bag. But Rawfield, beautiful aim coming out from this man, but with only 8 HP. The dream's just not going to be there. He's not going to live for long. Snuffed out by Marzel. With that, 3-3. Lethal. Finally, the adaptation that we were hoping for. But again, this round was a little bit sloppy on their regard. Slightly, but it worked out.
Yeah, definitely better than, you know, what we saw in rounds 4 and maybe even 5. However, round 6, they did bring it back. And again, sloppy, but it worked. And they might actually be trying to adapt to something that they might not be all too familiar with. Pearl is, of course, a pretty new map as well at the same time. I mean, it's been a few weeks that it's been here for, so there's been time to adapt. However, as the Haunt is thrown and destroyed and the Tremors come in, Android's about to push and get taken down, punished instantly. No second kill though, Excali will go down. Sensei there for the trade instantly. As the first few kills have happened, another Prowler is shot out. RVK trying to save the position that they're in. Falling back once again. Another shot towards the door, and in connector it will be Rex to find Cybele. One more body goes down.
Teleport's ready.
Biggest question mark of why did Android take that swing over onto double doors without any utility when you have a double initiator composition on your side? Again, Lethal, they're just taking peeks like this, and I don't understand. If you get the kill, you get the kill, but you're not supposed to do stuff like this. Again, Marzel, he thought the site was empty, worked his way up, and he got caught because of it. Antidote, he does find the kill, sends it over to a 3 versus 2 situation with the resurrection still available. 4 versus 2. And Lethal, again, what's the plan here?
That is the question. Well, looks like the plan is to just kill everybody. Sensei finds 2, only to get shut down by Rex, but now it is Rex and RVK up against a lone... Oh, again, just they don't want to let me finish my thoughts. I'll tell you what, aggressive. But anyhow, Brimstone goes down. Rex will get the defuse done entirely. And much cleaner round once again from Enigma. But again, questionable decision-making from Lethal Esports, especially the Neon. That swing on the plaza door, connector door right there. Not sure what the thought process was, but it didn't work out. And like you said, you get the kills, you get the kills. It's one thing to, you know, have that on board, but at the same time, when you're playing a composition like this, do you really want to go for these? Because at some point, you got to think that it's just becoming a liability.
Let's give them time to adapt here. Maybe they're very uncomfortable on the side of attack. You have to remember the attack side is one of the more difficult sides for Pearl because the meta has still not developed properly. There's not really a lot of avenues that you can go in for the attacking side. You're going to fall flat on your face if you're not careful though. But again, this is a pretty hefty arc push coming in already. Android has the forward corner, but Excali has the timing even better. Flash coming in from the sidelines, Prowler from the side as well. They're trying to get as much as they can.
Oh my goodness.
Refract's gonna be beautiful. Catches out Excali over from the side, gets another gun for himself. And wait, RBK, it's all up to you if you're gonna survive, but no, not gonna happen. Marzel immediate with the refrags. He's beautiful when it comes down to those. And this could be a possible thrifty if Marzel is able to find one more frag. Rex, he's gonna get taken out, and Marzel pretty much takes this round out of absolutely nowhere.
I mean, well played. Where, you know, credit where credit is due to Marzel. Triple kill right now. It's all down to Raphael. This is going to fall back through spawn towards B instead, deciding to just save the weapon, save the kit, and go into the next round, hopeful for a little bit of a better time. Will get Marzel, actually. So, you know, 1 kill at the end of the day. It is good enough to shut Marzel down.
Right here.
But the damage, of course, has been well done and dusted. Spike will be going past the point of no return. With all that said, there we go. A thrifty to the attackers. And once again, a 4-4 equalizer.
Pretty expensive, though, for the attack. Regardless of whatever situation, Marzel able to keep the operator on himself and carry it forward over to the next round. In my eyes, maybe going in for the double up strategy would work out for them, but yeah, they're just going to give away the guns just as I expected. Antidote, he's going to take one operator while Rawfield has the other. They have quite a lot of firepower to work with here, Jack, but the thing is, how does Enigma want to utilize this?
That is true. Plenty of firepower, and Android already pushing out very aggressively, already towards mid doors, and with the Prowler in tow, trying to go right through the smoke orb, but no, a Sky Flashbang comes through and will deter the push, at least for now. RVK about to take a gunfight right here, sends out a Prowler, will get the shot as well. Sensei,
Beautiful.
too many things to deal with right there. Oh, wait a minute. Android finds RVK, but Lucy has already gone for plant. Through the smoke and everything. Android finds Rex. Oh boy, post plant 4v3, and the defenders are just caught off guard.
They have no idea what's hitting them here from each side. Two players holding down from the heaven segment, but again, they don't have a good entry point for any of this. Scally though, good for the first, not going to be able to find the secondary though. Cybele takes a good shot, and Antidote trying to pick up the pieces, but he doesn't really have much to work with. Maybe just running away with the operator seems to be the better plan for him. Marcel with a jiggle. Beautiful when it comes down to that. Tries to go in for another catch, and beautifully done. Antidote, the battle sage, holding down strong. Looking for another frag up over from the side, and Lucia needs to run away. But he gets the frag and makes sure that he does not die in the process. 4 and 5. And lethal. Expensive round, but a really good hold, especially against the members of Enigma, who pretty much have the entire map under control.
Absolutely. Catching Enigma off guard like that, definitely not something that a lot of us would have expected right there. Especially Enigma, of course. I mean, they're the ones who got caught off guard. What am I even saying, right? But Lethal Esports, expensive yet well played. They are going to be taking this time. This time, but mind you, is Enigma's. However, Lethal also gets this minute to just talk between themselves and see how they can progress from here. Pretty close in the first half already, right? Given that it is 5 and 4. But the ones who need this timeout are Enigma. They have lost a couple of rounds in a very awkward position. And even when they have seemed like they have map control, it hasn't quite panned out for them. Not all the way that they would have liked for it to. So they need to adapt. They need to change how they're playing. They've got the agents selected. They know what to do, sort of, on this map. Mind you, this map, of course, the meta hasn't quite been fully cooked yet. It's getting there. You know, it's slowly being cooked, been in the oven for a couple of weeks now. But it needs a little more before we get a full idea of what Pearl is all about. But as we move into now the 10th round, Lethal will look to get a couple more here, a couple more points, couple more lead, as it were. But are they going to be able to? I mean, Enigma, of course, they won't want to allow that. But Lethal also has got a couple of tricks up their sleeve. Let's see what the timeout yields.
Attack inside again, going for a fast hit down. Android, beautiful usage of utility to gain full control, but Raw, he's just a squid Rex! Death play. And Android, he gets a full control over from the one side. Has the full on run available to him. He's pushing his way in all the way to spawn, getting ample amounts of information and raw fuel. He's spawning out the shoulder, but no, he's not able to find it. Android already saw him out, but Antidote's got immediate with a refrag. Beautifully done. The trade game is so perfect coming in from the members of Enigma, and their composition that they're running without any form of a duelist is just working wonders for them. Antidote trying to run on away. He's got to be able to live through that one just for a little while longer, but Cybele, he has no idea how long this has been stuck for. He's got to try to hold, but I believe that he didn't know that Cybele got caught out by the nightmare. Could have stuck it full, but he overthought the situation just a little bit there.
Yep. Just a little bit of lack of awareness, maybe not enough intel, something or the other. Wasn't quite there for Enigma, but I gotta say, the way Android started the whole push, the way the entire aggressive entry into B happened, and then Android managing to find the opening by going all the way around the back of B, just, you know, well played. Once again, aggression, and Android will get Excali off the back of a flashbang as well. Well played as he gets the first blood, and now enters in the side, but RVK will shut him down. Saddle comes in for the refrag, and now side control is here. The plant needs to go off.
Dunsay over from the other side. Has the control over onto one, but Rexy, that would have been a pretty good hit if he was able to find it, but Sensei just way faster on the trigger, maybe with another shot. Antidote's not gonna be able to find it. He's been so phenomenal with the sheriff as of recent, but for this game, he's been missing out on a couple. And raw fuel being a little judgmental in the back. That's the first initial kill on his sewers, looking for another one. Shuts down the secondary. And Sensei, he should have this refrag. There's absolutely nothing that you can do, but okay, never mind. Raw fuel, he's gonna prove me wrong. Again, he misses the shot. This is a halfway stick, but with the orbital strike, this is why you gotta love the brimstone.
Oh boy.
It's just so powerful. What do you do in this situation? It's a centralized plant, correct? You need to tap the spike, you need to run away immediate, because that brimstone ultimate can easily catch you from every corner you can try to run from. There is no way you can hide from it. And that is prevalent on every single site. On B, on A, wherever you plant, the defenders, they have nowhere to run.
I mean, orbital strike for days, as it were. Lucio will be more than happy with being able to hold out the round, especially given what was going on. The defending chamber was really about to shake things up, but no dice there. Once again, Android pushing out to mid very quickly towards the courtyard, that is. But as the Prowls come out, Cybele will find Excali. Once again, Excali going down first. Not the best performance in the last couple of rounds right here. Antidote pushing in very close right now. But the Sage, unaware of Marzel's position, gets shut down. That's 2 bodies for the attackers. Once again, Lethal Esports starting out very, very strong indeed.
Again, it feels as though the defenders are playing way too passive, and that's why they're falling into this loophole. You have a composition that allows you to hold sites. I understand that, but you also have a composition that can easily take control of the entire map if you use your utility properly. Maybe some smokes on towards mid-top. Try to gain that space away from them. Make them as affordable as you possibly can. That would be the perfect play. And RBK has the corner, has the first initial headshot that he needs. And Android sliding straight into his DM catches RBK off guard. That's the first kill that they wanted. And that's all that they're going to be able to get. Rex. Yeah, he's gonna get sent to his maker in the worst way possible.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do right there. You know, you literally had the, the shining spotlight from the attackers of Lethal Esports, and of course, Android getting the final kill of the round as well. Just well played overall from Lethal Esports, really showing up in this map. It's an 8-4. Don't get me wrong; it's a much closer score than I think even Lethal Esports would have probably liked. But they are in a 4-down advantage. They have, a ton of control and a ton of momentum going for them right now. So they have plenty of room to work this into a map victory. And if they're able to do that, well, all the better for them. They'll go up 1-0, and Enigma will be under even more pressure. As Aggressive pointed out before, one of these teams will be probably losing the chance to qualify for the LAN, right? Because losing 2 matches means getting into the top 4 becomes nearly impossible. And that, of course, leaves it all up to the teams that are going 1-1. And if that's Enigma, then once again, that would be an upset for the history books.
There.
Stranger side of things. It's 4-8.
There.
Side swap coming in. They're on arguably the better side, but again, going back to the point that I made previous, for them, this map was a lot more defense favored because of the composition that they were running. But this composition needs them to be a lot more aggressive so that they can take more of the map away from the attackers. And in this case, it just wasn't present at all. I'm very surprised. This is a much more attacker favored map. I understand that, but for the defense, they had a composition to try and counteract it. Not really played down to perfection, and I think I'm going to chalk it up to them just not playing this map as often as their others. This is going to be tough for Enigma to try and win out because Lethal, they're showing their comfort on this particular instance.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me out there, but I got to agree with you. Very, very comfortable from Lethal Esports. Even on the rounds that they've lost, they've had some very good moments. Sensei, Headhunter, can't quite get the shots, so he just falls back instead. Raphael, stunned out of his mind right there. So RVK and the rest will go up. Excali as well wants to push up. Antidote right behind him, but not much coming off of that. Barrier goes up. Antidote wants to go for the plant right behind it, and he's going to go for that, but as the smokes go out and the shots are fired, you know somebody's going to be pushing. Gets one, but gets shut down as well from Sensei, as Android from the defense has been taken care of. Mind you, the spike needs to be planted still, and they're going to entirely reposition. It seems like it's going to be a full change of plans from Enigma as they're going back from spawn and mid all the way towards the A site. At least they seem to have decided to do that. But no, they're also hanging around towards long, towards B long, that is. And as Sensei finds Raphael, it's going to be a little bit less certain for the attack of Enigma how they want to proceed here, as they're just trying to just reposition, trying to regroup, trying to find a way to break through. However, the spike carrier back at spawn as well. That's RVK. Needs to be careful because Lucia is very close.
He's dead.
He's probably, yep, there we go. Went for the run, no time remaining. Sensei finds Excali, and that leaves Rex, the last one standing. Won't win the gunfight. Lucia more than comfortable, as is Lethal Esports. 9-4.
Again, back to the point I made previous. On this map, as a defender, you need to take away map control. And if you don't do that, then you start losing out in more ways than one. This is one of those maps that you just cannot play passive and hope to hold the side and win it out. Just by trying to brute force the attackers into a full stop. It just doesn't work. You need to create pressure on multiple different avenues so that if you get the first few opening frags on the attackers as they're trying to rush into a side, they're going to start second guessing themselves and push their way into other side lines. And that's where you start gaining the advantages. But look at Antidote already pushed up over towards the front side. But Enigma, they're still getting all the frags that they want. Cybeld is going to be good for one, but the possibility of the Thrifty, it's still on the cards for them.
That it is. Lethal with only 2 players now remaining. They've got to try and find an opening here. Lucia, once again, coming towards Plaza. Rex is going to decide to fall back instead because there's someone else on the longer angle. Raphael goes down. Lucia not taking a whole lot of damage off of that. But where is the teammate? Where is Sensei? He's all the way towards the B side, still holding that down. As it is, of course, the Brimstone out towards mid, trying to find whoever he can. A site has been compromised in the meanwhile. RVK is in there, but the spike is with the Sky. So they've got to get in there. They've got to get the plant off. But it seems like Lethal now also has an idea of what's up, as Excali is going to go for the plant. The smoke to cover the entryway that Lucia was on right now. RVK holding very close to this as well. One of these two is about to go down. And here comes the headhunter as well. Sensei has caught up. Another set of smokes thrown in. The entry is here, but RVK gets one. Excali to cover. Nearly lost his life right there, RVK. The shots could have been a little better, but hey, Excali was there.
You wanted to go in for a knife.
Probably, yeah. But Enigma will finally put another round on board for themselves. It is a 5-9. They still have 4 rounds to equalize.
It's pretty good. Nothing really out of the ordinary for them, but it seems though Thrifties on this map are a lot more prevalent than what I believed it to be. But for Enigma, I don't know what really the plan is with the composition that they're running. They don't have a duelist to brute force their entries over anywhere, or they don't have the utility that they need to retake a certain sightline. This is going to be a tough one for them, but Sensei maybe biting a bit more than he can chew. Tries to go in for the re-peek and he gets caught because of it. Enigma, that's a free plant for them, but the position
could be huge.
Oh,
this
yeah.
could be huge. Very huge. But
Spike
Raphael
down, B.
was also there. Did catch Cybele, but the damage is done. The damage is done. Trying to plant behind the wall. Android, shoddy in hand, but no, gonna get the walls up. Gonna try and find one, but Raphael playing around it perfectly. Gets the shot. Android goes down. Now the plant can still happen, but Marzel is here. Raphael gets another. Lucia down. And suddenly this lone chamber has turned things around. It is a 1v2. Marzel has to play out of his mind right now to clutch this out. You have Raphael with the quad. Not gonna happen, just like he said right there. That's another round now going to the side of the attack, the side of Enigma, as they are slowly bringing it back.
Fights anymore either. The level of confidence in Enigma, they're slowly starting to pick up. But again, this composition needs to have that first pick potential to shut down Lethal. Lethal, they're playing a lot more for the map control. So they're starting to peek out a bit more often on their defensive side. But of course, that was the pistol round and it was the anti-eco. They're trying to get advantages. Here in the buy rounds, though, it's where I want to see their strategies coming into play. And yep, this is the level of aggression that I was hoping to see coming out from Enigma on their own defensive side. Look at the way that they were taking the mid control away. Do you see how their members have full control now? They can go anywhere that they want. But no, Lucia! Maybe a bit too aggressive on the peak. That's going to be a catch out for them. But still a 4 versus 4 situation in Cyber.
Oh. Ooh. Nearly had a second there. Yeah, but RVK shuts him down. Rafael comes out, finds Android as well. So the turnaround is here once again for Enigma, leaving Sensei and Marzel, the last two standing. Marzel earlier in the first half, absolutely tearing through the opposition, but now on the defense hasn't quite had the best of times. Going to push into the side now. Not quite aware of the positions taken by these attackers. There's one sitting right by the spike is the enemy fade, and now Marzel's the last one. Gets one, past his peak, gets the second.
Beautiful.
Beautifully played right here. One remains, knows the position now of Rex. But how does he beat this? He goes for it, but no! Rex had more HP to peek that and gets the shot. No damage done to the Omen. And now, 2 rounds remain. Enigma are very close to making this a 9-on-9.
Dude, if he hit that shot, if Marzel got that nutty shot over onto Rex, that would have been over. Rexy, though, was able to jiggle his way out a little bit and survive that turmoil. But for Enigma, they're inching their way closer towards that equalization. The attacking side working in their favor a lot more because they're reading into a lot of the strategies being put up by the members of Lethal. And that's what's really working against them. Cyball, again, wants to be aggressive over towards the mid sideline, but it's just not working out in its favor. That's going to be another catch out, though. And ouch. They're going to feel that level of pressure and feel that level of pain.
Marzel, on the other hand, trying to find one, but not quite able to. Rafael will take the trade instantly, leaving it once again in a, this time, 2v4. The attackers are looking to gain control of the ace side, probably. They do have a Prowler going that way, thanks to the fade, but no dice on that. Lucia pushing up to courtyard, gets taken down. Excuse me right there. Gets taken down. Excali already having advantage on that peak. Android now in a 1v4. Not the best position to be in. Gets taken down. Excali once again just watching the door, really. Taking that mid control and denying it to Lethal. Seems to be a play that they are, catching on, that is, Enigma. And the more they catch on to this, the more they adapt accordingly. Well, the less chances Lethal will have if they now don't start counter-stratting.
Yeah, Lethal, they need a complete and utter rehaul in the way that they're trying to shut down the members of Enigma. Enigma, they should not have as many advantages as they have with the composition that they're running. But the way that they're playing, they're segmenting each of the different sidelines in so many different ways to regain that map control with the utility that they have. It's incredible to watch, and the timing! Excali! Absolute disrespect! You just don't swing a corner like that! That's one more flight for them to catch on to. And now Excali is maybe looking for the refrag over onto one, but look at the timing for him. He's already pushed down from double doors. He's working his way up in towards the pit connector. This will be so horrible for the members of Lethal if they don't smell him out. Lucia, he's equalizing it. 3 versus 3 situation on the map, and it's all up to Excali. He's in such a powerful position. He has all the information in the entire world. The fact of the matter is, if he misses a shot, I don't know what to say to this point.
Spike planted.
I'm going to get it, in that kind of a position, in the power play that you can make here. Lucia, in the meanwhile, coming back around the spawn.
He's dead, right?
Towards, he should be, or not, I guess so. Oh, went for the reload at the wrong time.
Yeah,
Cyber will find him. Excali, meanwhile, gets Lucia. There we go. The player that we've been talking about this entire time, Excali, with a powerful position. But as the tremors, as everything comes out from Cybele, how much can he really do here? Rex is waiting. There go the Trailblazers. He's taking it, though. Ooh,
that was close.
Very nearly, yeah.
They're waiting a little bit too long on some of these plays, but hey, it's completely fine. They're trying to make sure that they utilize their utility to perfection, and I love that. But Excali, that play was so beautiful. Working his way all the way into mid connector and then towards spawn. Not really opting to go in for the refrag, because if he went for the refrag, that would have given away his flank. He wanted to get the perfect timing, and he was able to do it. But for the side of defense, what's the game plan here, Lethal? You have lost out on 5 rounds consecutively, and this could just be another big loss for you as well. Sensei wanted an aggressive play, but it just didn't work out in his favor at all.
That's real unfortunate right there for the defending chamber, but Lethal Esports once again losing the opening kill. Not the best for them. Mid doors once again being a big point of contention. Android probably trying to bait out a peek right there. You know, using the utility, giving away sound cues, so on and so forth, but nothing from the attackers. They know full well that being too aggressive all the time will not work, but Marzel and Cybele get a couple as Android comes around, finds Rex. Excali is the only one to get another kill for the attackers, but goes down nonetheless. Android slipping and sliding all over the map as it's all down to Lucia, the last one standing. Well, gets the last one standing. Antidote goes down. And finally, Lethal Esports will put a round on board for themselves. They lost, what, 5? Nearly 6 rounds. But they do still, yep, they do still win. They do still keep the lead, and on a thrifty no less. They, once again, are re-establishing some level of dominance. I wouldn't say dominance, maybe not, maybe I wouldn't go that far, but some level of control on the map.
I love this. Finally, the members of Lethal, they were able to take the map control away and get the proper read on their opposition. The main issue on this particular map when you're on the defense is there's not enough information. And if you make a little bit of a bad read, then you're just screwed in more ways than one. You don't have enough avenues to work around with. Your utility is just not going to be enough to gain you advantages. But ooh, we just got away with murder.
Literally. Sabo's gonna find one in the meanwhile. Sensei not getting the second shot over there. Antidote pushing up strong here, but gonna also stay on the back foot. Not quite sure where Sensei went. Trying to find him on the underpass or the back passes right there, but Sensei's just waiting. Android finds RVK on the other side, and a push being denied and mid being controlled leaves the side of Enigma in a 2v5. They are unfortunately not quite looking all that hot now that they've been right into once again trying to get away with murder, but Sensei, lightning doesn't strike twice nor the third time for him. Raphael's in the sight in the B hall as Antidote gets Rex back on his feet, puts it back to a 3v5, but still a dicey situation at best here.
30 seconds left.
Especially with a chamber alive, that's a lot of information being given. Cybele has a lot of utility in hand. Look at Rex, this position is so beautiful. If he has the proper timing for this, that's going to be amazing. That's good for one. He's going to be for the second. And Rex, he puts this into contention to be around possible for Enigma to win. But Raphael, you gotta love this man, working his way around so many different sidelines. He has everything under control. Gotta take down Marcel's another frag, and Raphael, if he gets this clutch, that's gonna be incredible to watch over from the side. And Raphael, beautifully done. Enigma, they take another one out of absolutely nowhere. They pull the rabbit out of the hat to try and get this round for them.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I am amazed. Just look at Rexy in his position. Who plays that? He's an absolute rat, and he made it work.
Well, sometimes when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and more than that, you know, they start playing rat positions like Rex did in that last round. Well played, though. The positioning from the final three, just beautifully played, beautifully played, beautifully played. Absolutely agreed on that. 10-10 equalizer, and each round that we move through means more and more likely that we're going to OT. Android trying to go for an aggressive push right now towards mid. Not quite able to get the control that he probably would have wanted. Trailblazer comes out from the sky as we have a big attacker presence to the side. Marzel going down. Rex taking that one to start off the round.
This is so beautiful from Enigma. They're denying control to the defenders, and that is what you would love to see. This is why the mid is the most important sideline on this particular map. If you have control of mid, then you have control of every avenue of attack and defense. But look at the way that Enigma are playing. They're waiting for the defenders to push their way in, and that's what's giving them a lot of advantages. Rafiel, though, immediate with a double frag, just like Lucia, does find a lot of value trying to go in for the flag, but Rafiel doesn't even care. He swung out at 39 HP against the Spectre while he was full running forward. Now that is confidence that I wish I had in my ranks.
Same. Honestly, same. But confidence aside, Rafael just doesn't even care at this point, you know? 10-10, you're already in map 1. It's already gone on for long enough. Why would you care at this point? You're just here for the win. Sensei caught in a 1v3. Now in the site has, of course, the spike being planted on default. That was given away earlier as the flash goes out, but to no avail. Just keep Sensei at bay, wasting the time of the spike. But Rafael will get the quad nonetheless. This chamber absolutely stomping all over the map, getting all the heads, literally, and just not stopping whatsoever as finally Enigma takes back the lead, I should say, from Lethal. And what a time to do it. 11-10. They are 1 round away from a map point.
It's so surprising. And as more time passes by, it's just gonna get even better. Moving back over to this island, though, we do see that Enigma, they're in full control. And for the members of Lethal, they are now stuck between the rock and hard place, but still Cybele, beautiful taps! Good God, man! He's just playing in from hard and he just tapped 3 people out of existence while Android went in for the push from A main and shut down 2 others. What just happened in this round? Lethal, they just aim-diffed the hell out of Enigma to try and win out on a thrifty. There was no strategy to this. It was just pure, unadulterated, unfiltered aggression coming in from Cybele. And goddamn, this man was angry, and he took it out on all of the members of Enigma.
Oh, I think angry would be an understatement right there. I'll tell you what, aggressive. 11-11. That triple tap from... Oh my goodness. It's going to take me a second to get over that one, but what a play and a half from Lethal Esports. They very quickly push it back into 11-11, refusing to let Enigma go into any farther of a lead than 1 round, and even that didn't last for too long. It's probably one of the quickest rounds we've had, as Cybele once again wants to play aggressive. Not quite able to find a body just yet. The attackers playing it a little bit more on the back foot. More concussions, more flashes going out. Android trying to find Rex, who's back on the ramp of B, of course. Not quite able to do that. Not quite able to get Rex out of this position. He loves playing that. The Omen has been there for a while in most rounds. Spike's been picked back up. It's with the Sky. Excali, of course, probably the best person to have it, at least in this instance of the round. No first kill yet. Both sides are playing it a lot more passively right now. They're still, attackers that is, are still deciding on where to go. And it seems like B will be the side of the push. Android will give the call. So there should be a reposition coming in from the defenders right now.
Been a bit more better on that, Sensei. Really trying to break down the wall so that Enigma's not going to be able to get find a free pan for themselves. But ooh, that's a full rundown. But Cybele with the rolling thunder trying to be a bit of a problem. But beautiful paranoia coming in from Rexy. That reverse paranoia was perfect. Catching on one of the players immediate, and now it's all up to Marcel again. The danger man, the clutch potentialer.
Okay.
I'm trying to hype him up, but I think that worked in the favor of Enigma instead of the other way around.
Probably just gave them enough cues that, yeah, no, let's not mess about. Let's finish them off quickly. End the round. Map point here to the side of Enigma. And I say map point, not match point, because the match, of course, is a best of 3 to all of our viewers at home who might not be aware, who might be joining us just now. This is map 1 of this BO3 on Pearl. And it is a 12-11 currently in favor of Enigma. But given how much of a back and forth this map has been, aggressive, I would not be surprised if we're here for a while in overtime.
Good possibility, but I do believe that Enigma, they're going to try to close this one out. Look at the approach that they're going. Very slow, methodical. No over-aggressive peaks. They're expecting the attackers to try and gain some space out of this. And yep, Marcel going into their waiting arms. Such a beautiful play, Enigma. They're pretty much reading them like an open book. Lethal, they're overextending when they have the control that they want. You know Enigma's going to expect this. This map facilitates teams who try to take a lot of control, but you need to get minimum levels of control, and if you want more, you need to invest utility to get it. And for Lethal, they're trying to use their bodies to gain that information, and that's what's really causing this problem.
Seek them out.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, face check all you want, but like you said, Pearl is very clearly utility intensive if you want extensive map control. There goes the Omen in the meanwhile as well, as the defenders are just currently scrambling to try and find a kill, try and find something, some sort of leg up over Enigma, but they're not quite able to do so. Here comes the orbital strike to deny an entry, and Cyber's gonna find one right through that. Rafiel goes down. All right, that's a kill, and they absolutely needed a kill like that. At the same time, no revives probably, but Antidote beautifully played using the wall. Sensei finds RVK, Rex goes down, Excali comes around, finds Cybele as Antidote finds Sensei. 7 seconds remain. The spike has to be planted, and it will be so. It's a 1v2, all down to Android, the duelist, the last one standing. There comes a revive, but it's been spotted, taken care of, and there goes the concussion. Android with the ult right there. This should be it. He might have baited with that first defuse sound right there. He's watching from the back, repositioning. Android will keep the hopes alive. The dream is still there to take map 1. Lethal Esports will push into overtime. So, folks, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is round 25. Overtime in play.
I'm dumbfounded here. Android, he had no business winning this. The timing just did not work out in Excali's favor. He was just a tiny bit closer to that engagement. He would have possibly caught Android trying to go in and try to stick the defuse. But nope, that just did not happen. Beautifully done, Android. He played into the awaiting arms of Enigma once or twice, but he was able to just dodge, bob and weave his way out. You gotta love it when you see it. The members of Enigma, they got completely caught off guard in this round. 1 versus 3 for Android. Hell no, that's not supposed to happen. And with this, they gain even more value. Now Lethal, they have some momentum to play around with, but they need to calm themselves down. Try to take each and every one of these one step at a time. But look at the utility investment coming in from Enigma. I think they used a bunch of utility already very early on in the round. And this is going to start compounding into a possible loss for them if they're not careful.
Absolutely. That utility investment needs to bring dividends for them, as they have had a trade. It is a 4v4. Man count is equal, but Marzel swinging around finds Rex. That's going to be another huge kill. That's the Omen taken care of. Once again, walls come up. Android trying to sever the lines of sight that you can get inside of the A bomb site. However, they're just going to hold instead. Not really pushing in aggressively. Lethal just trying to find another body, maybe clear out the site a little bit more. As a haunt goes out, Marzel trying for a kill, avoids the flashbang. Excali not being able to get that utility in a place where he needed to. As the Rolling Thunders come out, tremors and everything. Here's the plant, but RVK comes around, finds Lucian Cybele. That's a big denial right there. Excali finds Android, and the attackers have just been shut down left, right, and center. Marzel now a 1v3, 1v2 make that, because he just found one body, but doesn't have the position of RVK, who will take the triple, shut him down, and take the side of Enigma to overtime map point.
Present, they're ready. And they're gunning to get this final win for their side. And honestly, Jack, I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon. Enigma, they're mentally prepared to shut this thing down right here and right now. But I want to see adaptability coming in from Lethal. The last couple of rounds, they just started pushing corners that they had no business trying to take control of. You have so much utility. You have a double initiate composition of a breach and a fade. Why are you still trying to face check corners? Full control avenues over on towards mid, not even a smoke over on the top end. What are they trying to employ? Lethal!
Okay then. I'm not entirely sure.
Nothing?
Just zero deployment towards that push. Nothing. They just swung after like a bare minimum usage, and I mean, it clearly wasn't enough. It's going to leave Enigma with enough room to try and swing into one of the sites right now. It seems like A is going to be that site. Excali is approaching. You have the Fade already close to. Cybele coming around the back though. Gets one, and that's the Chamber Rafael down. So information will now be harder to come by for the attackers. Enigma will have to deal with this as Antidote set up the site. He's going to go in straight for the plant. Cover is there from RVK and Rex.
Oh, he's dead.
Not quite yet.
How the hell is he alive, Rex?
Oh.
Last player standing.
Nope. It's not happening. It's not happening
Win.
for Lethal Esports, folks. Enigma will take the map. And mind you, Pearl was a Lethal Esports pick as far as I'm aware. So Lethal Esports have lost their map and they'll be going 0-1 down into Enigma's map pick. This is going to be a very, very dicey second map. But my goodness, in that last round, again, just bare minimum investment. They were face checking every corner. Not sure what was up with that, but they lost multiple rounds, multiple positions that they should have taken advantage of, and they will be defeated 14-12 as a result.
I'm just dumbfounded. Lethal, you had so many advantages. They ended off the first half on an 8-4. Jack, 8-4.
Yep.
Went to the 9th round. Thrifty started coming in. And at that stage, I'm like, is this actually going to happen? Is Enigma really going to turn things around? And Lethal, where was the utility usage? Why go in for a double initiator composition if you do not want to use that level of utility to gain that level of map control? They had the general idea of how to play this map. This was their map pick. They had everything under wraps. But they were not using a single bit of the resource that they had to try and take that level of control. This is not the Lethal that we know and love. This is not the Lethal that we have seen dominate the scene in a lot of different shapes and forms. And as we head on down over towards the match highlights, it's going to be a lot more prevalent as well. Yeah, you guys may be back at home saying that, why are you being so harsh on Lethal? Maybe it was just a bad map for them, but no, Lethal have played this map before. They've showcased their proficiency when it comes down to utility usage. They showed it all on their own attacking side. They were using utility to gain advantages. Yes, it was very sloppy at the very beginning where they started face-checking corners by themselves without using their utility, but as soon as they started utilizing it, their pushes became a lot more cleaner, a lot more stable, and a lot more visible in the way that they were taking sidelines. But on the defensive side, do you just not want to use utility? No smokes onto mid, no lines of communication present. What was the game plan there?
That is my question, as well as probably is a lot of the fans' questions as well for Lethal and even Enigma's fans, probably thinking like, yeah, what was going on there? I'm not entirely certain at the same time. Again, it is, like you said, a double initiator composition coming in from Lethal Esports, right? So they should have been using utility constantly, right? They should have been investing in the areas that they peak. And I get it, right? Towards the mid map, right? We had many rounds where face checking worked for Lethal and for Enigma. You know, credit where credit is due. But at the same time, it's not going to work every time. Face checking is probably one of the more predictable things you can do in any given situation, in any given map, round, site, whatever have you. Playing utility, allowing for the smokes, the flashes, the walls, and the concussions, so many things that you have to go out and gain information, deny it to your opponents, and to push accordingly. That's probably what they should have. Wow, okay, my throat is not supporting me today. But what I'm saying is, like, that's probably what they should have gone for, right? But they just didn't, especially, like, now it's 6-4, right? Once they get to that 8-4, something happens to Lethal where they just stop. And Enigma starts taking full advantage of that. And, I mean, it's really just a matter of time after that. You know, hindsight is 20/20, as they say. But once Enigma started, you know, turning things back and tearing into Lethal Esports, it really seemed like a matter of time before they ended up winning the match. I'm honestly giving Lethal a bit of credit for pushing it to overtime. But again, a lot of that was because of their face checking and overly aggressive plays, needlessly so. So again, Lethal going into map 2, it's dicey, but it's still possible. But they will need to clean up on their plays, on their composition, and overall on their decision making.
Say, it just, I really hope that they have a game plan moving all over to map number 2. Ascent is not simple at all. Enigma, their track record on Ascent is at 80-20. 80% win rate on Ascent. You really don't want to face off against something like that. not in this case, not in any way, shape, or form. Their strategies on Ascent can shut down even the best of teams, not just in our region, but also in others. They have proven themselves in a lot of different forms, but again, this is Enigma we're talking about. They do have a tendency of choking from time to time, and they have a tendency of having a very slow start right off the get-go. If Lethal are able to build that advantage again and keep it this time around by at least playing together as a squad a little bit more, things will be a lot more better. The main issue that I witnessed from Lethal was they started to take a lot more 1v1 engagements where they could have played together as a team, used the utility to set each other up, but no. They started face checking corners. The timing was extremely. It just felt off. You can't really explain it into words, but when you look at their gameplay, you could see that they were taking duels a little bit lackluster. It's as if the team was not even communicating what they were doing throughout this entire game.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Their communication, I mean, it's very visible in their play, right? And especially going over the highlights, it just, as it gets to that 9-9, 10-10 area, it's just like, but why, right? Like a question that I'm pretty sure, Aggressive and I obviously had this in our heads, but I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers had as well, as we saw these swings and these aggressive, needlessly aggressive swings happening. Just, but why? Why would you go for this? Why not just use what you have instead of face checking every single corner? And mind you, the 1v3 from Android that pushed the game into overtime was a fantastically played 1v3, beautifully done with every utility that, the Neon had being used, but just not, it wasn't there for the rest of those rounds, and I'm not sure why. But anyhow, 14-12, Enigma will take the 1-0 map lead, with the stats coming out from both sides. Rafael having a fantastic game, clearly. 29-17 MVP for the map. Cybele in the meanwhile, 21-10 MVP from the side of the team that unfortunately lost their map pick, Lethal Esports.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, Jack, you know that there's an age-old Valorant curse in this game. Mm-hmm. You lose out on your own map pick, but you win out on your opponent's map pick because you never really mentally prepare yourself for your own pickup. And then you put in all of your resources over towards opponents. So Lethal, they could have a strategy on Ascent that completely changed the view of this team. So Enigma, they have to be on their toes. They don't know what to expect. We don't know what to expect, but Ascent, I think it's going to be a close affair. Again, the map really doesn't have a lot of different strategies that you could write home about. It's much more one-dimensional in the way that you play it, but hey, some teams, they love it because of that very nature. Whichever team is a lot more refined in the bare bones basics of Valorant will always have the advantage on that map, and that's why it's so popular.
Absolutely agreed. At the end of the day, we have all these advanced strats and this and that. As we go into the match MVP screen right here, Rafael, I mean, it's very clear Rafael will be the one to get the MVP, right? 21-17 in the map. 21-17. Wow. Sorry for that. KDR 1.71 and an average combat score of 301 and 3 first bloods to boot. And look at that headshot percentage, 34%. Rafael, fantastic map for this player right here. The chamber working out absolutely fantastically for them and for their team. Enigma will be more than happy for this. However, mind you, like you said, Ascent is a much simpler map, much more rooted in the basics of Valorant. And while Enigma is very much a team that knows their basics and knows what they're getting into with these things, Lethal will have something to say about this, at least we hope, when it comes to map to Ascent. But with that being said, we're going to be taking a short break, a very quick break, before we come back with map to Ascent here, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics. the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with the AMD Ryzen and Windows 11 presents the Esports Challenger Series powered by Crucial. And it's going to be your boy Aggressive here with Blackjack on my side, bringing you a lot more Valorant action for the next map of this best of 3. And honestly, after the first initial game, I'm a little bit sad, but at the same time, I'm amazed at the way that Enigma were playing. They were able to counteract a lot of strategies being made out by Lethal. And Lethal, they got read like an open book in more ways than one. It was an 8-4 scoreline Blackjack, 8-4, and it went to a 14-12 win to Enigma. That should not have happened at all. And hey, as we head on down over into Ascent, I'm just going to put my legs up on my chair after we roll out of cameras, of course. And I'm just going to lounge and relax as I watch this game play out, because Ascent will be a treat to watch, considering the track record of Enigma, but at the same time, with the resurgence of Lethal on this particular map as well. It's not one of their best, but it's also not one of their worst, considering they have really good fundamentals in the way that they play. Not really a utility-focused map, so it should work out in their favor.
I mean, yeah, rooted in the fundamentals of Valorant, of course, there used to be a lot of face checking as well. I remember, early days of Ascent, my goodness, everyone was just like, you there? You there? You there? Gun out in front of them, just face check a corner. If you find one, you find one. The more Valorant has sort of progressed, it's gotten more into the, the whole utility, the back and forth, the mind games and whatnot. As of course, we will go into the map very quickly. Not going to keep you here for too long, folks. And looking at the maps right now, Pearl, of course, 14-12 to Enigma. Ascent is where we'll be going. It is picked by, of course, Enigma, mind you. Lethal have lost their map, so they are under tremendous pressure. However, going back to Ascent, going back to some Valorant basics might just allow them to claw out a map to victory. And if they are, well, Fracture, that's going to be a absolute barn burner of a map. Wouldn't you agree, Aggressive?
I have no clue how Fracture is going to play out. Enigma, not the best of track records, but at the same time, Lethal, it's one of their more favorite maps. So, Hakuna Matata. I'm just
what
not
a wonderful
make any
phrase.
predictions. Yep. Gotta love it when he say it.
Yep. But for now, yeah, sorry about that.
Continue.
Yeah, I was gonna just basically say, same old, right? For Ascent, as utilities have progressed, as the metas have shifted, so have the times, and so has a little bit of Ascent. I wouldn't say it's entirely the same as it was when Valorant started out, when esports in Valorant started out, I should probably specify. But largely speaking, we will be seeing some pretty early on compositions and early in terms of time from what we've seen from a while ago. Pretty old, pretty heavy compositions, maybe a KO or two, maybe a KJ or two. We might end up seeing all of those. So we'll go into the agent select in just a short while, folks. Don't worry, the match is going to start ASAP. There are no breaks here. There are no pauses, at least we hope. And this first round, once again, the pistol round, important as ever.
We are going to jump over to the agent selection. We're going to be witnessing a very standardized composition. Nothing really out of the ordinary, I'm for certain. And again, I just love this agent selection, man. Our graphics crew just always
hats off.
It's the one. But now we see a complete another switcheroo. Lethal is the one not running a no duelist composition, and Enigma, they're the ones running a very standard and the most common Ascent composition that we have seen for the last couple of months. So this will be very interesting, because without a duelist, Ascent honestly is one of those maps you just can't play. This is very difficult to pull off, because now you're looking at your chamber to be performing out of his mind.
And that, of course, becomes paramount, as it were. The rest of the team, of course, has to bring themselves to the forefront as well, as much as they possibly can, with the lack of a duelist here. And the duelist from the Enigma side, of course, Jet, the old faithful, as it were, being brought out once again. The only different, only couple of different agents that we are seeing here is from the Lethal Esports side, Chamber, and of course the Fade. But a Sentinel and an Initiator being the difference between the two sides. And of course, as we go into the match, folks, round one is about to get started. Pistol round to start, the usual stuff. You know what to expect. But Enigma have a map lead, and they are going to make it a 2-0. They would be hopeful to do that. But how far can they push it? Or how far will Lethal Esports allow them to? This is Enigma's map selection. This is Ascent. This is round one.
We're going to start things off pretty slow. No real aggressive peaks coming in from Enigma, and they're just going to take it one step at a time. Mid control already established by them. And I love this play from Enigma each and every time. Look at the players over towards mid. There is a smoke present on the bottom side of the mid end, and they're looking to work in slightly, but this positioning coming in from Marcel, this will be a pretty tough one to try and clear. Rexy, he needs to have that sixth sense to try and work his way up for this one. If he doesn't check this corner, this is going to be detrimental. But still, with the immediate mid push coming in, they have the beautiful play to work with here. But no, missed shots. That's going to be a costly one to find. Marcel's going to be able to shut down one even on low HP. The trades are coming in back and forth. And Cybele with another one. One by one, they drop the bodies of the defenders. They're the one to hold down the site. It's all up to RVK. Doesn't find anything there. And Rafael with low HP. Yeah, he's just gonna stun.
Not much that Rafael can do. Does find the KO, but that's about it. Marzel with the triple in the round will shut down the Jet before too much damage could be done. Once again, well held, but Enigma, couple of those missed shots in the early aggression probably ended up coming to bite them in the back at the end of the round. Well played from Lethal Esports once again. Credit where credit is due. Enigma, on the other hand, won't be happy with the way the first round went. Interesting selection of guns right there from the side of the Enigma roster, that is. We do have a Marshall coming out, along with Sheriffs from the entirety of that team. Lethal, on the other hand, of course, Spectres, and I think I also saw a Marshall for them as well. Yep, there we go. There is a Sheriff in play, but oh, Marzel with the Marshall finds Rafael. That's the Jet down and out.
Ouch, both of them went in for the body shot, but hey, you know for a fact that if that was a shot to the head, he was instantly dead. Rafael didn't have the perfect crosshair placement that he wanted, but dealt a good bit of damage, so the attackers can maybe work around with that play. But again, they have a composition that is heavily favoring the defensive side, so Lethal, they should be winning out on the defense without really a lot of problems. But the Sheriff God, again, he strikes through, shuts down Marzel just as we expected, and Android, he has the timing, he has the fight, and yep, Enigma, I think they're done. They're dusted and Excalibur, but good God, man. His plays with Marshall are just absolutely gorgeous to watch.
Gotta agree with you on that one. That headshot definitely is gonna sting right there for the side of Lethal's defense, but they're still on the body count advantage, mind you. Cybele seems to be trying to take control of mid. Shots fired, and ooh, just goes out to the spawn of the attackers. Finds Excali nonetheless. It's all down to RVK, last one standing. Plenty of health on board, but unaware of the position that Cybele held, will be getting taken down. Cybele with the final kill, 2 to end the round, 2-0 to start off the map for Lethal Esports.
Beautiful. Levels of aggression were perfect. Lethal, they were not way too overly aggressive, so that also worked out in their favor, so that was perfect. Enigma, though, on that end, they did cause slight bits of damage, but without the spike plant, I will not say this was a very fruitful eco round for them to win out on. But at the end of the day, you still are going to be able to find out some buys, and you force the defenders to go in for a couple of light weaponry to hurt their economy down the line. Perfectly done on that end, and Sensei, okay. maybe a bit too overzealous, don't you think so, Jack?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. Definitely a bit too overzealous. Going on for a pop flash out of the smoke. Probably
Alone.
not the and alone at that. Yeah, and alone at that. Probably not the best idea right there. As mid is now being hotly contested. Excali's mark, but Cybel's gonna find one from the garden side. That's RVK down. And that is gonna be one defender and one attacker from each side taken care of. It's a 4v4, much better for Enigma, probably, and I say probably with a hint of apprehension here. Android wants to swing this, turret is there, it'll be shut down, and Android pushing out as the grenade is thrown, finds Rex, putting, once again, Enigma on the back foot here. Excali wants to push up alongside the Jet. Here goes another flash, shots fired, Raphael will win that. Rawfield, excuse me, I should probably correct myself right there. As more shots from Rafters, Marzel goes down. There's Rawfield with another. Lucia on the floor, leaving Android now in a 1v3 in the post plant.
What a shot from Fuel. He's an absolute demon. Takes his soul and drags it back down to hell with him. 2-1, and Enigma. Like the age-old days of Valorant. You lose out on the pistol, you lose out on the anti-eco, and hey, they're gonna win out on the buy round. Beautiful.
Well, now that we've got ourselves a couple of rounds in, round number 4, looks like Enigma might just be able to start off on the footing that they would want to. Everyone running a Vandal and, of course, heavy and light armor. It's a mix of those. Agent suppressions come out from both KOs, 2-1, Sensei and Excali each. But other than that, not much else happening just yet. There's going to be another throw in. Oh, no, he could have just taken the shot. No.
He didn't, we can see it, but he can't. But if he didn't hit that shot, you know that's the possibility of a little bit of a check.
Oh!
Someone needs to check him as well.
Yeah. Get somebody on Raphael's end right now. How does he get that? I think it was flashed as well, of course, from the KO. As we have the push into the side, control has been taken inside of A. The spike should be on the floor. Raphael was up on rafters, but unaware of the fact that there was another one there with him. Here comes the nightmare as Raphael is holding right under the rafters. Antidote undeterred, finds Cybel. And it's going to leave them in now a 5v2, 4v. Oh my goodness. All right, everybody just goes down at once.
There's a reason why we say it. That the map of Ascend is just the playground for Enigma. And you can see why here, Jack, as well. They feel so comfortable in this particular map, especially on the attacking side. Because of that Jet, they can take space so quickly. And that's one of the main reasons why they're able to play it. Now, the composition that Lethal are running, I like the idea that they're going in for, but without the Astra, I don't think this is going to work properly. You need some more utility to play it down proper. I understand the utility of the woman that could be coming in. You have the paranoia and the aggressive plays that you can make with the teleport, but the Astra just facilitates your entire team a lot better instead of just having that one Omen who can maybe go in for a couple of outplays.
Well, for the time being, plenty of shots are going to be fired. Once again, it's an A-side execute. Raphael's already in here, smokes off the top, fires through it as well, just to keep things clear. As the spike should be planted any second now, Android trying to hold from top rafters, throwing everything he can. But there's a recon bolt as well, giving away position. Shots fired once again. Hits all in here. Raphael finds one from under the rafters. Cybel goes down, and now in the post plant of 4v5 with the chamber and the fade very low on HP. They're gonna come around from Garden. Excali's holding the corner thanks to Sensei getting that kill. Unaware of where he is, Excali nearly bottling that, but he's still alive because Antidote's here to cover, and Excali turns around and finds Marzel. That would have very easily been a big bottle job from Excali had Antidote not been there on the cover, but thankfully for them, the coordination was on point. The Omen was there. So many shots that... Oh my god.
Oh, that, our producer hates Excali. God.
Oh boy.
No one shows a whip. But hey, we saw the whip in all its glorified moment. So, it's fine. We all have those moments. And hey, I feel better about myself. If you see a professional player whip like that, it shows that they're human as well.
Okay.
But I don't think Marzel's human.
I mean, I'm not sure what Antidote was going for to begin with, right? I commend the aggressive idea there, but alone, no smokes, no nothing. All right, interesting decision making right there from the Omen. Goes down. That's going to be a 4v5 once again. Body count advantage going very early to the side of Lethal. And they don't even have anybody who's low on HP. No other gunfights have happened. Market door is closed right now. Cybel's holding on that. But it looks like it's going to be a B-side execute. Here we go. Everything's coming in. Already smokes and the flashes, the grenades and everything. But raw fuel's going to come in. Find Cybel. Equalize the man count. Suppressions are out. That's from the defending KO right there. But Sensei's going to push in instead. Find one on Market. Lucia goes down. But Sensei's in here right now. RVK shuts him down. Shuts down two. Sensei and Android go down. And that's a 2v1. Rex is marked. But RVK... unstoppable right there. Inside the side, finds Marcel. And now, 4-2. It's 4 straight rounds to Enigma.
Absolutely clean in the way that they played that one. Look at RVK. An absolute Chad with the swing as well. Immediately shuts down Marcel before he was able to readjust his crosshair. And Enigma, they have that control on their side. But for Lethal, they need to start figuring out what's really going on wrong for them. Their composition facilitates their defensive playstyle, yes, but they maybe need to start playing for a bit more space. They're giving so much room away to the members of Enigma that look at how they're playing. They have full mid control for free. Nothing's really stopping them. Yes, I of course understand this is an eco round, but having some info, having something to slow them down would just make it so much more better. But so many avenues of attack, so many places where the attackers can play around from, that the defenders, they have nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. They're just gonna start dropping like flies.
Left, right, and center, or as I should say, hook, line, and sinker right there for the side of Lethal Esports. They, like you said, they gave away just too much space. Mid to market was completely given away, and the entry to the site as well, just gone in seconds. And Lethal just could not bring it back from there. They played way too much on the back foot. They gave too much away, and they allowed Enigma to take control, thinking, all right, they're going to take control, but we can fight this. We can probably fight this. We have the utilities. We've got our composition ready, but it just isn't there. Enigma is way too comfortable on this map. They've been here so many times. As once again, a suppression, and I think a null command as well goes out. This one is from the attackers, but no, Excali goes down. Rafuel comes back, Rafuel, excuse me, to take Marzil. As Antidote comes in, Sensei is now on the floor as well. Rafuel will get Excali back up on his feet. Lucia, Android, Lucia! Okay! Sudden triple! Spike's been dropped as well. It has to be recovered, and it will be in just a second here. There we go, the KO will shut down, and that leaves the Omen, the last one.
What?
Standing, but Lucia's not even there.
Yeah, he TP'd all the way over onto A to try and survive the aggression that could be coming in behind him, but maybe he went back a little bit too far. He could have even saved his body if he was a little bit more proactive on the play, but again, information, they don't have much to work with here. The comms are probably all over the place, but Lucia, his shots! They're gonna reign supreme. Antidote, he has the corner, needs to have the timing, but no! He turns around in the worst possible moment. Lucia, the stars aligned for him, and somehow is able to gain this clutch. Everything worked out in his favor. And this is the level of timing that you just cannot expect to happen to you every single time. But Lucia, it was written in stone that he was gonna win this round. That's how clean it was.
Very clean in the 1v2 right there. Teleporting all the way away to the A bomb site. Really, even we here at the casting desk didn't really give him much credit for that, but hey, it worked out. Because after the teleport, Lethal Esports, or sorry, Enigma was just left with no intel on the final Omen. Antidote could make that play. And like you said, stars aligning at just the right moment, allowing them to win the round. Now, we have the hallway taking control of an android. Beautifully done. Gets that kill. Rex falls, and once again, Enigma will lose the first body in the round. Antidote, nearly the triple, but not quite. Cybel will shut him down. The body count is equalized, mind you. It is now a 3v3 as the lockdown comes out from the defender Killjoy. Android will go down to RVK. And looks like A will be the site that is, you know, emphasized upon here.
Can't be serious. Look at the way that they played this. They pushed their way all the way towards heaven, and then they're gonna go in for that plant. The killjoy lockdown plays by Cybele was given to perfection. They wanted to funnel everyone over towards Lucia so he could get a couple of frags, but that really just didn't work out in their favor. Rapio missed out on a shot, and Lucia again stuck in this clutch situation. 45 HP though, so he is not favored to try and win this one out. Paranoia's not done ahead, and that teleport straight out in towards the open. Excali, the BM king for a reason, shoots his body down to make sure that he's dead. And with that, 3 and 6, and because Enigma, they're getting a lot of rounds out of absolutely nowhere. This play from Antidote pretty much saved this round.
Yep, fully agreed right there. The play from Antidote allowing them the kind of advantage that they needed in that round. And I should correct myself. I think I incorrectly said that Antidote made the clutch play from a couple of rounds ago, and it was from one of the defenders, Lucia. So apologies for that, folks. Caught onto it a little bit too late to correct it then and there. But anyway, coming back, the hallway, it's the gunfights, and Rafael wins that. He wins again. Nightmare comes out, but some would say it's a little bit too late to do so, as 2 bodies have been lost already. Excali wants to try and push out towards the site. You have the Prowler coming in. That doesn't find the Jet, who will just walk away instead. Android unable to get that kill. And that means the defenders will probably now try to reposition. Yes, they will, because the A site has been compromised. It has been taken over. Antidote's already up on Heaven. Gets one.
Spike planted.
Android shuts him down. It's now a post-plant 2v4.
Bit dangerous by Antidote, but still got the one frag that he wanted. So nothing more to really find after that one. Taking out that smoke early, very prevalent for these retake situations, makes it a lot more difficult. And RBK, you gotta love this guy when it comes down to his lineups. He just knows how to play around with it. But the alarm bot causing a lot of damage, causing a lot of issues for him to try and hold. And the sheer level of utility that the attackers have, it just causes more problems. Swing.
One enemy remaining.
From in, and okay. Cybele gets the first, but now I think that Rawfield's pretty much dead, right? Android doesn't miss this, and yep, that's pretty much guaranteed. Looking for the secondary, and he finds it. Good job from Android to deal some form of economic damage, but that's all that he can find.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is still a round win for Enigma, so it's not like they're going to be hurt too much, as we see in the instant replay. Once again, taking control of A quickly, yes, but also taking control of Heaven and denying it, at least for a time being, to the side of the defense, who are trying to rotate back into the site. Well, it was not to be for Lethal Esports. They have lost so many rounds of this defense right now. It is a 7-3, 2 rounds before the swap. And Enigma, the way they're looking, would very much like for this to become a 9-3 first half.
Let's give them the chance.
And he's out of there.
No, he's not out. What?
Not yet, though. What in the... Okay.
He's playing mind games up here. He's dealing so much damage. Just look at this guy. He's still fighting. He's still going. He's still fighting the frag out of it. Good God, what? He gets away with murder. He shuts down one player at the bare minimum before he gets taken out. But look at where the defenders are. And look at where the attackers are in. They're in the B side completely for free.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, that one Omen really just drew away what could have been otherwise a very successful flank from Lethal Esports defenders had they been allowed mid, but nope, not this time. Antidote deciding, you know what, it's mind games hour. You guys are gonna follow me, and you won't even realize that I am just being bait right now. Literally, that's all that Antidote was there for. And the Omen was, I mean, more than successful in that endeavor, allowing another round to go to Enigma. They are 8-3 up, 1 round, last round, before the half ends, and they are just absolutely tearing through Lethal Esports right now.
Lethal. Their mental's kind of shot here. This is not the Lethal that we know normally in a lot of cases. They're in a tough position. Android dancing with the devil out here. Trying to maybe find one more, but Lucia is so beautiful when it comes down to these taps. He's able to find some value here. Android over from the other end, trying to get a bit more to work with, but the timing's just not going to be there. Rex, he has the best play that he could make, and especially with this lockdown, they have full control of the sides. They need to worry about a lot. Lucia straight through the smoke. Beautiful timing on the plays, and the crosshair placement immaculate. Shuts down one more, and he's hungry for more here. You know that he's gonna expect it. One by one, they've taken this down to a 2 versus 4 situation, make it a 2v3 at the post plant.
One enemy remaining.
Just not
Spike
probable.
down B.
Oh, Marzo, one shot is all it takes, but not quite. Not even the headhunter. As Rex is somehow holding on. But it's still not there yet. The
30
spike
seconds
needs to be
left.
put on the floor. Rex
know
needs to get
they're
in there. They gotta know where he is right now. And the shots not connecting. Finally, it's been a while, but Lethal Esports will finally put a round on board for themselves. Well played. A good hold, fully expecting a B push this time, and managing to hold out against all odds from the side of the Enigma attack. But now, it is the side swap. It is Enigma on defense, Lethal on attack, and the first round, as usual, is back to the pistol rounds.
Just can't make this up. That last play by Rexy was so smart. He played it to perfection, but I think his confidence took a little bit of a hit right there. That was a miss, but hey, sometimes you do miss out on shots, and it's completely okay. He's been very consistent in the way that he's anchoring a side, and that's completely fine. That's all that he needs to do. Everyone else is out there getting frags while he is becoming the rock for the team. Here, though, they have a little bit of time to talk to each other. Due to our rule set, we give a 1-minute tactical pause to each of the teams as soon as a round swap happens, so they can just talk in between themselves to try and maybe break the momentum that the opponent team had in the previous half and just allow the game to be a lot more free flow in the way that everyone approaches things. But now, in this case, for Enigma, they're the favorites to take this one away. Their defensive side has a lot more fluidity in the way that they can play, but for Lethal, they're waiting for that first initial pickup before they can push in, because this composition is not an easy one to play for Hero set.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. This composition on the attack, Lethal is gonna have a tough time of it as to how far they're able to push into a round win. That remains yet to be seen. Just waiting on the confirmation that everyone is once again ready, and we will go back into the match itself. Don't worry, folks. There we go. The timer has started counting back down the buy phase, which means it's not going to be much longer before round number, round 13 here at Ascent. Map number 2, for those joining us or those who might not have been here for a while, maybe joining us for after a little break, it is currently 1-0 to Enigma on the map count. They are leading, and they took Lethal Esports' map. They won that, so this is their map pick, Ascent, and they have been very comfortable here, currently standing at an 8-4, 4 rounds away from match and a series point. But they have to get there first. Lethal Esports would like to have them not be able to get there, and that is the question now. Here we have the suppressions coming in. Excali is going to be short-sighted thanks to the Prowler coming in from Android, but not much is going to happen off of that because of the, of course, suppression that he put out. Sitting here with a frenzy now. There's 2, now 3 agents on the market door trying to get in. But they can't, knowing full well that there's a KO, knowing full well of who's where. Shots fired, the Sova, RVK, so much damage done on A entry, but not quite able to be taken out. The Headhunter not catching its target. Here we go, it's all in here. Position's given away, but Rawfield is here! Finds 2, suppressed, and it doesn't matter. He's gonna be firing away at the smoke orb here to try and find one more. Excali now pushing out aggressively, maybe trying to reposition. Yes, indeed. Oh boy, that drop is going to be costly for the attackers right now.
They have some mid control, but this is not going to be a simple one for them to try and take over. And he's going to be good for one. Excali shuts down the other one. They have the position for the last. And hey, Enigma, they pulled off a flawless pistol. And this is not something that's normal. Enigma, they do not have a track record for winning pistols at all against any team. And then the fact that they won out on their pistol round, yeah, the signs don't point to a possibility of a lethal coming back from this. Not anytime soon, unless we see a miracle happen for them.
Well, a miracle is what it's going to take, and well, who knows? We might even see one. I mean, never say never. It is esports after all, and some things can still happen. Here we have, once again, a smoke on the hallway and a push straight in, but no one is going to commit to any particular side just yet other than the KO on the A side. But Excali, oh dear me, he's really being aggressive here and somehow gets away with that. Okay, Rex in the meanwhile found another as Marzil will take a kill back. I mean, they need that. Wow, what a sudden turnaround, and Marzil with a hand under, not quite getting the shots. Classic out now.
One enemy
Shots
remaining.
fired, but Rex will still get that. And oh, Lucia just unaware of the chaos position. Excali will take that. And another very comfortable round to Enigma. They're just undisturbed, unperturbed, fully in their lane, unbothered right now.
One enemy remaining.
This is their streets, and they're just cleaning out the trespassers as quickly as they can. Enigma, they seem unstoppable, but at the same time, you can't really count out the members of Lethal just yet. Because the way that the match is panning out, Lethal, they are showing the signs of maybe getting that first initial fight and the first initial pick that they need to make this composition work, but again, they're losing out on gunfights. That's the thing. Enigma, they're giving them opportunities to win out on them, but if they try to brute force their way into a side, it just won't work. They don't have enough information to play around with it. They're running a fade and KO, which doesn't really facilitate the comp that they have. They needed a Sova and a KO. They need more info, and the fade is just not giving them what they need.
100% agreed there. There really is a lack of intel. Marzil will find RVK though, but is he aware of Rex's position? No, Rex! Okay, just calm down for a second here. Here's a big push from Android, coming in with, of course, all the utilities that are present from that fade. But once again, Intel, wow, okay, wow, I butchered that word, how? Anyhow, Intel, not quite there onto where the KJ went. Spike will be on the ground. Finally, a site has been taken control of, but looks like the retake is coming in. Enigma are pushing aggressively. Two of their agents are currently a little bit low on HP, lower than they would like, especially Rex, mind you. But Cyber's gonna find one, and that's raw fuel down. Rex pushing up aggressively, can get the kill, as Sensei finds Excali on the other side. 3v2. They are maintaining their body count lead, and that's what matters right now for these attackers. Lucia finds Rex, leaving Antidote the last one standing, gets taken down by Sensei. Even though Antidote did find Lucia on the other side, it didn't matter. 10-5, and Lethal, once again, after a long couple of rounds, will be taking one more for themselves.
Pretty hefty hit, though, on that end, but it's honestly fine. Nothing to really write home about. It was an eco round coming in from Enigma. Enigma were able to take down 3 players, shut down Sensei slightly because he took a lot of damage and he needs to rebuy armor. So at the end of the day, I would say Enigma, they played their bonus pretty well. It was a really good one. But now with the Byrons coming in, they need to showcase their prowess. Whoever takes this 11th round away, I mean, of course, if Enigma take this 11th round away, it's pretty much done and dusted. And Rawfield, he already has the first bout of information that he wants. The flash peek's gonna come in, and Rawfield misses out on a very crucial bullet. That's gonna give information away that the operator is present, and they need to be careful about these long-range cyclones. Playing from mid is gonna be one, but now the real problems will start to arise. One by one, the bodies are gonna drop, and that's gonna be Marcel taking one, but Rex with the immediate trade-off. It's again 3 versus 3, and Rawfield looking for one more. Misses the shot, though. That's going to be a costly one for them. Rexy, he's not playing with the danger man as well. He's going to win it out.
Well played on that one from Rex as he finds the Omen, but gets shut down. Sensei with the aggressive push in to the site. Rawfield is here with, of course, the big gun. There we go. Finds one. Swarm grenade comes out. The grenade, excuse me, from Sensei, but not much to be done from that. knows the position of one of the players, but does he know that the other one has also now joined on
30 seconds
the
left.
rafters? The jump
Player
in.
standing.
Sensei
what?
gets that. RVK, not sure what you were
Spike
going for
planted.
there. But now it's a 1v1.
You have util.
This could be a big clutch for Sensei right here. Rafael needs to get in here. The jump is heard. The shot should come out any second. Now, there we go. Sensei with the clutch. 1v2. Rafael, unfortunately, not able to find him as RVK jumped in to force the KO to peak. But the shots were missed. The utility wasn't used. And the round was thusly lost. 10-6 now. Lethal have 1-2. And they're slowly starting to garner some momentum here.
Yeah, that was just not gonna happen. Not anytime soon, not in that sense. Again, RVK, maybe a jump in was a bit too, let's say, carefree. Without really going to the choice words that we don't say when we are playing ranked.
Yes.
But it's fine. Enigma, they still have a pretty hefty lead to work with, but for Lethal, that's going to be a massive momentum shift. They're going to be a lot more happier about this because now they forced Enigma into a situation where they have to go in for an eco. Now, this Blade Storm could be dangerous from raw fuel as well, but it all depends on Rex with the first kill. Possibly he's going to get it. The Marshal has been pretty powerful in his hand, but it all depends on the timing. 3 players over towards the side, and this first pickoff will be the most crucial one.
Bomb grenade out.
Absolutely. Here comes the swarm grenade. And Lucius pushing through that smoke. There we go. Rex will be taken down, but Antidote in the corner, unaware of their position, will go down nonetheless. Here comes the Blade Storm from Rafael to find one. And another! Maybe another! Yes, we go! It's a quad! Rafael with the knives out! Literally gets everyone that he possibly can see. And that nearly would have been an ace, mind you. But the first kill went to someone else. It doesn't matter. Rafael pushes himself up to 23-11 in the map with that 4K. Antidote had the first kill in the round. That's the player whom I didn't quite, have the intel on. But hey, now I do. But my goodness, what a round right there from Rafael. What a round right there from the Jet. And overall for Enigma, once again, taking another 11-6. They have denied the advancing.
Thrifty.
And a Thrifty at that too.
Dude, how are they getting these thrifty rounds? That's what's really surprising to me, Jack.
Yeah. They just are. I mean, it just works, you know? Sometimes you just gotta admit, it just works.
This is SA Valorant in a nutshell in most cases. Our region just loves these thrifty rounds. As soon as they have those sheriffs or any form of an ult in their hands, they're just an incredible team to watch. And both of these teams, they're showcasing their prowess and their aim when it comes down to this. Rexy, good timing. He read into the attacking strategy and he's able to get some form of value over from the side. Lucia, though, beautiful shot over onto one. Marcel, a pretty hefty miss. That's going to be a costly one for you. And Lucia, your position's already given away here, buddy. They know you're playing towards the wine side. Where are you going to go? It's actually going to get a free kill over onto one. And Lethal, they're able to find all the frags over towards the A side. They're going to be able to get this hit done in. But no. They took full map control away, and the members of Enigma, they had no idea how to stop them. The read was there, but the shots, nothing landed.
Unfortunate for the side of Enigma, but it looks like Lethal is not done yet. They are going to fight. I mean, it's expected that they would, but they are going to fight even harder now that they have a chance. 4 rounds are the difference between them and Enigma, between them and an equalizer, and potentially even pushing for overtime should it go to that, potential result, as it were. Rafael in the smoke, hiding, trying to find one, prepping the dash as well, knows the position of one. There goes Marzel, and that is the chamber down. There's somebody flashed in the market. RVK has to fall back instead. Rafael pushing up. Does he know where the KO is? I don't think so. He's going to push up, looking at the corner anyway. Sensei takes that. That's a trade. Second kill. No, it's the Sheriff instead. As RVK finds the turnaround. Cybele coming around to market. No, it's a one tap for RVK. And it's left Android, the last one standing in a 1v4 as Lethal just experienced a full collapse.
Revealing area. Found them.
Looking at the 12 guaranteed here. I don't think that Android has it in him to try and pull off an incredible clutch like this. No information whatsoever. Rex again. Yeah, he gets the first shot. He's just gonna play mind games out here. Has the angle, has the place that he wants. And
30 seconds
at the end of the
left.
day, again, how are they doing these in these eco rounds? This was another eco round.
It just works.
Match point.
It just works for Enigma.
They
At
had
this point.
really bad buys and they still got through with it.
Yep. I mean, at this point, there's not much more to say, right? Match and series point now go to Enigma. And Lethal, well, they're struggling, to say the least. 5 rounds to push for overtime. And that's 5 flawless rounds they have to play. A single mistake, any mistake that could cost them a round, that's it. Game over. And potentially tournament over as well.
Just gonna end it here then pretty much if you're not careful. Raw fuel. That's the first shutdown. You start space checking a couple of corners. Raw fuel's gonna be on the A side. And hey, you lost out on your smokes early. That's the first player to go down. And now, the members of Lethal, they have nothing. They don't even have a jet to try and block off a sideline. The problems are gonna start, but look at Marzel, crab walking his way forward, just find the refrag over onto RBK. So that's a pretty good hit for them. But Excali?
Okay.
Sure.
All right, then. Yeah, sure, buddy. Ooh. Doesn't get the second, though. Antidote comes around, finds Cybele anyway. That is going to leave, once again, Android and Sensei, the last 2 standing in now what is a 2v3.
Face your
Still
fear.
possible, but there's the Nightmare. It hasn't been put in the right place, mind you. Antidote's position will be given away thanks to the smoke he just put out, but Sensei just walks right by him.
1 enemy
And
remaining.
that unfortunate little bit of a mishap, as it were, once again leaves Android in the clutch position. Raw Fuel missing the first shot, wants to go for another, and gets the hip fire.
Defenders win.
There we go. That's it. The match is done. It is a 2-0 to Enigma. Lethal Esports will now be 0-2 down on the boards. No wins on them, and a very likely chance that they will have to drop out of the Challenger Series without qualifying for the LAN. Unfortunate as it is, but hey, at the end of the day, you just kind of have to accept the reality of the situation and go on forward from there. As Enigma, they take a clean 2-0. Mind you, map number 1 came really close, but it was Enigma at the end of the day to win it out.
Just did not work out. It's a pretty sad story as well for a lot of these teams, but for Lethal, man, they tried, but the team just started breaking apart in more ways than one. The communication just was not prevalent at all in a lot of cases. The teams just... I have no clue what happened to Lethal. This is not the Lethal that we have seen from the past. It feels like after that loss against Reckoning, the team just took a backdrop in every single way, shape, and form. The team needs to try and go back to the drawing board and work on a lot of their baseline strategies because they were making mistakes there. The trades were not really present. They started playing angles on a much more 1v1 situation, and as we head on down over towards the match highlights, we're going to be able to witness that again. Now, the composition that Lethal were running on this particular map is something that I just cannot get behind. This has been proven over and over and over again that on this map, at the bare minimum, having that one duelist just allows you to be a lot more dynamic in your entries, at least on the attacking side. Yes, your composition will have a pretty strong hold on defense, which is a much more stronger side for this particular map, but you can get the same level of relevancy by playing an Astra and Raze. Now, a lot of teams, I don't understand why they are not really utilizing those type of composition that facilitates both type of playstyles. You can be hyper aggressive and you can be very defensive with the Raze. But the defensive playstyle of the Raze really does depend on you having that Astra. So in a way, in my eyes at least, a lot of people are going to hate me for it, but I see Raze as that pseudo sentinel because the way that she can slow down a lot of pushes. And I'm pretty sure you have witnessed this as well. It's very hard to push a Raze player, isn't it? When they're on the defensive side. So in a way, that defensive pseudo sentinel playstyle just works out in your favor. You could have run that instead of playing that extra killjoy. And that would have worked wonders for you if you played it down properly.
Well, unfortunate as it is, Lethal Esports deciding for this overall composition of a no duelist, full in initiators, sentinels, and controllers, as it were. But unfortunately, it just wasn't there. Like you said, a duelist allows you to be so dynamic. Someone like Jet, someone like Raze allows you to just play a little bit more freely, as it were, because you can do a lot more with your existing players. Instead, everyone, if you're playing without a duelist, everyone has to come into the fold. Everyone has to play out of their minds instead of that one entry fragger and main fragger throughout the map playing the duelist, right? So, and being supported by the rest of the team. That is what we saw from Rafiel throughout the map. Rafiel was just out there doing things, supported by the supports of the team, supported by information and utility, and that is exactly what he needed, what they needed to get away with those kinds of plays. And Ascent has, like you said, time and time again, been one of those maps, been proven to be one of those maps where a duelist comp is the way to go. Lethal Esports being a bit more experimental. I mean, I get it. You probably want to try out something you've been practicing on the back burner for a while now, but at the same time, when it's a match that potentially decides your fate in the Challenger Series for a potential land spot as well, is it really worth it? And I guess the answer is going to come up to a no for them because they have lost. 13-7 on the map of Ascent. And overall, even though they did etch a couple of rounds back for themselves, just about trying to at least claw back into the running, Enigma were there to just completely deny them. Left, right, and center.
Yes. This feels horrendous, the way that they took this loss. At the end of the day, it's honestly fine, because Lethal, they were not looking the best today, so I'm just going to chalk it up to them not having that level of confidence that they would want here. So let's give them a little bit of a break, but in general, their tournament run could just be very much over. Enigma, them taking this win and Lethal not even being able to find one. Now they're hoping that everyone else, they just are not able to take anything away. And Lethal, if they're able to win at the bare minimum of one game, which I do believe is going to be against Velocity because they have not faced Velocity yet.
Yeah.
If they win that, they could be in the running to maybe, pull off something. But
I mean,
I think they're done. They were hoping for something like, I don't know what to say. Reckoning needs to lose out on their next game. Enigma need to lose out on another match themselves as well. And then maybe there's an opportunity for Lethal to turn things around from there. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's a pretty long stretch.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. Like, probably way too long at the end of the day. And as you can see in the stats score right here, 13-7 to Enigma. Rafiel clearly leading the entire board. 26-13 and a 202 ADR, 350 combat score. Overall, a very good performance from him, from Antidote, Excali, Rexy, and RVK pulling around the back, doing the supports, getting the intel, and of course, that's what a KJ and Sova do. I mean, they were just doing their job, but we did see a couple of good plays from both of them as well. So hey, credit where credit is due. Lucy on the other side is the leading player from the side of Lethal Esports, but not much to be said there, as it's a 13-18, and it doesn't really get better after that for them. And I'm pretty sure the MVP of the match, it's in its entirety, is going to be Rafiel, which will be, of course, no surprises right there. Getting kills, doing things, controlling the map, controlling the flow. That player from Enigma is one to watch out for. I mean, Enigma as a team is just one to watch out for at the end of the day. There you go. Match MVP. It is Rafiel Jet in the second map. A 350 ACS, a KDF 26-13, 20% headshot percentage, slightly less than map number 1, but 8 first blood. So very much the entry fragger in the second map.
That's kind of normal for the operator player to just not have that high of a headshot percentage. He was playing with the operator most of the game, and you could see his impact. The kills were perfect, the ACS was beautiful, and he has an average damage per round of 202. This man dealt 200 damage guaranteed every single round. And we had 20 rounds.
Yep.
Now that is dangerous. That one statistic is probably underlined to be very, let's say, undertaken by the entire community. They don't understand how big it is. But as a player, if you're able to deal a lot of damage in a round and your teammates are able to finish those kills off that you're doing, then honestly, you're playing a really good.
Well, that damage, I mean, clearly, obviously, very, very, very impactful right there for Rafiel right there. Series MVP as well for the BO3, 55-30 in total. And the ADR remains pretty much unchanged, 202. So that means throughout the entirety of the series right here, they have managed 200 damage consistently every single round. And even if you're not getting kills from the damage, you're hitting up players, you're knocking them down, right? And the lower the HP of the enemy players, the easier it is for the teammates to clean it up if you still go down. 11 first bloods and a 31% headshot percentage, and the ACS 326. Just Rafiel, man. It is kind of to be expected at this point, I guess, from Enigma's, star fragger. But at the same time, it's amazing to see it come out time and again. Consistency, name of the game as well when it comes to esports, especially BO3s and BO5s. And Rafiel clearly is being consistent this time around.
He's just absolutely untouchable in more ways than one. This guy was just flying around over the top, over their heads. And hey, when he had that operator, he was able to shut them down. If you ego pick Rafiel, yeah, for a fact for a pretty hefty tree, that's for certain. He had a very slow start on the first initial game, but when he started picking up on that chamber, good God, was he unstoppable. Enigma as a team, always a treat to watch. And hey, we got to see their debut on the map of Pearl, a completely different set of composition that they were running. It was very different. And Enigma, they deserve this win. And hey, possibly they could just take this entire one away from them. They could be the ones to head on down over onto LAN if they are just able to win one more game. And that last game will determine whether they take it and move over onto LAN, or will it be Reckoning's turn to just shut everything down on that end.
Yeah, that Enigma versus Reckoning game is going to be a very, very good one to watch out for, folks. Both teams are 1-1, as we'll see in the group standings right now. Both Reckoning and Enigma in Group B are currently 1-1.
Yeah, this will be so close.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. One of those two teams will definitely be going forward, but the other one, unfortunately, will have to sit out the LAN, as it were. And mind you, there is another match from Group A later on today. That is match number 2, as I believe that is Orangutan versus Revenant Esports. Both teams are yet to lose a singular game. Orangutan at 2-0, looking likely for a qualification. Revenant, on the other hand, are yet to win a second game, but they're also yet to lose a game as well. So they will be looking for the victory in Group A. So right now, your hopefuls for the lands, Orangutan and Velocity, but it's going to be a fight in Group B, especially between Reckoning and Enigma, and one of those two will be going ahead at the same time. So two teams will have to say goodbye from both groups, and that'll make the 4 that'll go ahead to the Esports Club Arena, which will be hosting the Challenger Series LAN finale. Speaking of which, a reminder for all of our viewers at home, if you still haven't gotten the tickets for the Esports Club Arena in Bangalore between the 12th, 13th, and 14th of August at the at the Monfo Convention Center, well, there's the QR code. The link will be down in the description below. There will be a pinned comment as well. And of course, the links will be on our socials, the Esports Club, on Twitter, on Instagram, all the like. You know the deal. You head on over, get your tickets to be able to get a front row seat to the Challenger Series finale, along with fan meet and greets with their favorite creators, influencers, and the like from across the region, cosplay competitions if you are into, dressing up as your favorite characters, and potentially getting a bit of recognition for it as well. Community tournaments, they will be running daily on those 3 convention days as well. So, plenty of things to participate in at the arena. So get your tickets, and that has been your reminder of the TEC Arena. But with all that being said, that is going to do it here for the AMD Ryzen and Windows 11 present the Esports Club Challenger Series, powered by Crucial and broadcast partner Loco. I've been your host, Blackjack. Joining me has been Aggressive, and we are going to be signing off here today. And match number 2, there will be another set of BO3s to be played later on today. So until then, stay tuned.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics. the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.